Hello, good morning, good morning. Get set up. How y'all doing today, chat? Morning. Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and see what's cracking here on gold daily. Daily looks like it wants to push up. We're still waiting for this thing to move up over here towards 53.20. Got a little bit of a shotgun entry right over there. A few rejection wicks below the lows. So we're just waiting to see if we can break up at least above the previous daily highs by 52.40, and then we can keep moving up over here for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's kind of my target for the week up ahead. Now in the intraday time frames, we're still looking at the 4-hour breakout. I'm just looking to see if the volume can come through. We may just be waiting for core PCE and inflation data this week before we actually make this move happen. But yeah, this is how it looks on the 4-hour. So we're waiting to see momentum come out of this zone. This is an area where price struggled a lot. Even if you realize yesterday, the 4-hour candlestick, we didn't really have much movement, right? Like we just came back into the range towards market close. We're hovering at around 1% during the stream that we had. It was just hovering around like 1%. So there was not much movement. Price went up, then came back down. You can see we're still holding, right? Right over here, this is the Asia push from yesterday's session, and I believe we're just waiting for today. We have core. Let me see, what do we got today? We got core CPI today, expecting numbers to come out like neutral, kind of weak numbers, a decrease from 0.3 to 0.2%, but more neutral, correct? Because you can see like previously we got all these numbers come out neutral. Yeah, so I think that's what everybody kind of like waiting for this week. Core CPI, we got unemployment claims and core PC price index. So that's the reason why you might notice a bit of sideways movement there on the HTF. So you got 7 days as well to the next FOMC meeting. That's going to be next week. So you can see how important this is. Market's just waiting for those jobs data to come out. Let's see here. June, we got easing. Yeah, still at September. It came down a bit from 70% to like 69.4%. But we're still expecting like a bit more easing probabilities in September. So yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna kind of like ride the momentum from the escalations between Iran, Israel, the US, etc. That's kind of the only thing driving markets right now, macro fundamentally. So yeah, that's what we're gonna keep paying attention to. Right now I'm looking at oil. I'm thinking about onboarding oil into my portfolio. They say it is the black gold, so as a gold spot expert, I think it's time that we incorporate the black gold into the portfolio. So look at this, man. Look at how much volume that there is in oil. So this is something I'm just gonna be paper trading now and show you how to incorporate a new instrument into your portfolio. So always you got to start with the HTF, always see how the quarterly is doing, where the macros are flowing towards. And we can see right now, the macros are more leaning into oil rather than gold regarding the escalation that we're seeing in Iran, Israel. So this is really nice already. Kind of give us an idea of what to kind of expect during a macro event. But now we just need to dig in a bit more to understand the oil market and, to really get into what really moves it, OPEC, etc. That's what we're going to be doing, or paper trading for a little bit. I don't know how long I want to paper trade for. But we're just going to monitor it, right? Because we got if you see the price action on oil, it's just the same thing, man. It's the same thing like on gold. But you see gold, we're kind of struggling on gold a little bit. It's like it's like consolidating here. It's consolidating. Look at oil. Look at these type of moves we could be catching. The problem on oil is the spreads. How bad are they? I haven't even checked it out on the MetaTrader. Well, what are we talking? What are we talking? What kind of spreads are you getting? I'm expecting to see like 1 pip. Yeah, but that's a weekly. Weekly's coming down right now. 4 pips. Ooh, 4 pip spread. That's kind of crazy. What broker are you on? Let's see. Bitcoin falls as it fails to sustain recovery above 70K. You're on FP Markets. I want to check it right now. I'll do it later. Let's see. Bitcoin falls as it fails to sustain recovery above 70K. Yeah, Bitcoin should be tumbling as well. We're expecting further downside on it. FP markets. Let's see. Yeah, this where's WTE? Oh, here we go. 4 pips. Sheesh. So maybe we're just gonna increase the stops by an additional pips. And silver is the worst. Holy 6 pips. Sheesh. How much pips are you getting? How many pips are y'all getting in the chat for oil and silver? 'Cause I think oil and silver are the ones which should be currently moving a lot during this time. They say the cryptocurrency briefly rose back above 70K Tuesday after President Trump said the war could end soon. But you know, the thing about the war ending soon is the dollar is moving up because there's a war ongoing. Weirdly, you know, I think there's some correlation between that and oil somehow or something. I'm not entirely sure of. But the dollar is strengthening because of the war. So I don't know why Trump is saying that the war could end soon. Maybe he's going to put his people in, or I don't know what the heck the play is here. We just got to keep monitoring this. Right now, it's like a circus. What's going on right there in the US under Trump's leadership. So we just got to keep monitoring it. Other positive headlines include Energy Secretary Chris Wright saying in now deleted social media posts that the US escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz, while Wall Street Journal reported that the International Energy Agency was planning the largest ever stockpile release. However, reports that Iran was laying mines along the Strait of Hormuz dented sentiment and pushed oil prices higher. That's what I don't get. It's like, why? If they're disrupting the supply of oil, how is it going higher? Gotta get used to this. Oil rises as markets weigh mixed messages on Hormuz. But you know, like whenever in doubt, just follow the PA at the end of the day. If it's coming down like heavy on the daily, you still don't conceptualize the macros, just go with it. Just go with that's where the money is flowing. Correct? Because sometimes the macros could say one thing and price does another thing. But you know, what are you gonna do? You can't go against the daily trend. Because if it's gonna go up, it's gonna go up. No matter how amazing your analysis might be, it's gonna go up. Let's see, nothing else here. Asian oil gas firms. All right, let's see. Weekly's coming down. Daily currently is bearish. We're down about already 1.38% there on oil. Let's see. Oil spot versus United US state dollar. 0.03. What? You spread 0.03? Doesn't make sense. Average spread 0.03. Oh, wonder. Okay. Doing some mental gymnastics here. See, good morning guys. Welcome. All right, let's see what's going on anyway. Let's see, hourly time frame, break above resistance. Right over here, we got some nice clean range. So actually looking to see if price can go up. That would be my analysis there on oil. It looks like it's also breaking out from this accumulation. Very simple, straightforward. Don't need to dig into it too much. We got an accumulation right over here. Accumulation, and currently it is in a distribution phase right now. So you have potential Let's see how we're gonna see how this plays out. Let's see how it's gonna be playing out here. Potential buy target. Potential buy target right over here. So I'm guessing the pip, the way you count the pips, sounds similar like gold. It's like 249 pips. Let's see, 15 minute looks pretty clean. Got a small little speed bump here on the 15. It's got on the 5 minute. Also got a small speed bump down the 5. 1 minute looks like might be consolidating. Try break above. Nice little breakout play that happened right over here. Push about 36 pips. Drawdown was only about 13 pips. You see, this is what I mean. It's kind of like oil, and it's kind of like gold. So this is what I like about a oil so far. Because you know, when I was backtesting NQ, man, I didn't really like the way NQ looked. Like, I just can't get myself to trade it. I can't get myself to trade it. I don't know why. I just don't like the PA on that thing. But it doesn't respect PA that much. There's always faking out. There's always some kind of like a reversal. But we keep monitoring oil. So far, I've seen oil been playing out quite nicely. Some of these concepts have been like actually playing out beautifully. Even things like the 65% range fills seem to be making sense. Where were we looking at that yesterday? I think there's a clean range from here to here. On the 1 minute. Yeah, nice pushes, at least close towards that 65% mark. Nice breakouts as well. Loads of volume. Standard, like kind of like how gold moves too. Nice little swings, boom boom, spread out, nice. So yeah, let's see on the 1 minute. 1 minute right now, I just paid out sellers right over here. Sellers just got bank. And it's gonna start up. This might be that fake out right below support. Tries to get above area like this. It would be nice if we created like an inverted. So we'll come back and monitor how that operates, like how that prints. But for this to kind of remain valid, I think I would like to see like a support to be formed here before the break above here, and then it can start moving up beyond this level. Because it just needs to break that through that level. I think that's the only speed bump that we have for price to keep moving up bullish. That's all that I gotta do. Oh, nice. BR USD on IC markets has 1 pip spread. Yeah, awesome. That's pretty good. I don't know, maybe it's just FP markets. But we'll see. But anyway, see what gold is cooking. So that's oil. We're waiting to see if oil can move up. The HCF though, the daily is still pushing down though, but there's just that clean range. There's just that clean range to keep moving up over there. I mean, for sells on oil, you kind of want to see if like some kind of a support area here can get broken. Then you'll be trading essentially with the daily. So at least you have that in confluence. So you're gonna have potential sells below this support right here by $85 a barrel. You got this range. Potential sell target. This is gonna be around 130 pips, and this is gonna be that accumulation. We got resistance right over here. So this is kind of like now the area that you gotta look at and say, all right, so how can we read the candles to catch a trade? Now you have your zones marked out. Now you gotta see like, how can I get my entry confirmation if you wanted to trade oil right now? So you have to look and see like, according to the rules I've set in place, is it possible to get a move out of this zone, or do I gotta wait for a zone to get tapped, like maybe price to come down, retrace, what is it? So then that's gonna be basically now what we call your strategy, where your strategy will allow for you to trade this kind of a position. So with TFX concepts, we can trade right out of the box, because you can see that's a point A. So we're gonna have to wait those confirmations, and then see, we're gonna have a good idea of where price can go to next, with a clean range to the upside or to the downside. But that's it. That's oil right now. That's currently where it's sitting, and that's where the opportunity is. I think like gold is kind of rangy today. It's wicking a lot. As you can see right here on the hourly time frame, we're getting loads of wicks. So not looking too great. It's kind of thinning out a bit. Clearly because it's waiting for fundamentals. And I think that's why also oil is so good to trade, because it's moving separately, like from oil. I mean from gold. Because typically you want a pair which is like moving different. Is moving different from each other, right? So when this is looking choppy, then you can trade this if it's looking a lot more clean. That was the whole idea and reason why we used to trade pound yen, because of that same thing. They like just move completely different. But yeah, we don't trade pound yen anymore because obviously gold has been performing a lot more better. Gold, silver, platinum, oil now. They've been the stars of 2025, even up to 2026 now. But it looks like oil is taking the baton. You know, like when you're gonna run a marathon and you gotta pass the baton. Looks like oil is taking the baton and it's going for the sprint. It's going for the sprint over here. They got like a 15-minute shotgun, but it's right below that resistance. So we're gonna see that volume come up from the 1 minute, from a lower time frame breakout. It's got Louis Vuitton. I like silver at the moment. Yeah, it's creating that inverted, so we're gonna see if it breaks out properly, or if it's gonna reset something here. But I reckon it should. I still think like on this broker, there's a few gaps here and there, but no, that's just natural oil PA. Let's check out like ThinkMarkets. ThinkMarkets still has the same. Light crude oil. US crude oil spot. Gold spot. US crude oil spot. Where are the spot traders? West Texas Intermediate Crude Oil Cash. The black gold. Let's see, how's oil doing? Oil is relatively stable. You know, that's the reason why I never really traded oil, because it's relatively stable. You know, we were respecting the summer lows for such a long time over here. We only just started getting some few breakouts from the summer lows recently in April 25. But for the most part, like, oil is stable. It just ranges. That's why it's never been so appetizing to me. But I see, like, right now, especially in moments like this, it could perform, you know. Like, the best decision I made last year was to stick to gold. And you saw what gold did in percentage gains last year. You know, it was one of the highly performing, or if not the highest performing, it was one of the highest performing instruments of 2025. So I'm thinking like maybe oil might have a shot at a potential bull run. We're still in the inception phases of that. You can see like since the data that we've had here since 2014, it hasn't really like moved much. But you got like imagine this, like 2014, you kind of got like an inverted head and shoulders pattern in there too. But I guess it was bound to happen, because what are the probability that we're going to come and retest these lows? But it's still kind of funny to see. They said 2014. Created this inverted right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Volume came in. Yeah, it's still accumulating right here. We really want to see a break above $130 a barrel. Then we'll get like a freaking follow through. Like kind of like a trending market like we see on gold. You see like how gold is moving here on the quarterly, and look at this. Look at that. Looks like a S&P 500 or stock or something. This rally over here, whereas oil, you see oil is kind of stagnated, but it's still like right now so much exuberance in there. So we'll just keep monitoring it. See how it plays. I don't think that, you know, the thing about oil and gold, there's typically not as much sharkiness. There shouldn't be as much sharkiness as other instruments. Look at that gold might be trying to break out soon. It's gonna try and head towards the downside. Oh, loads of rejection wicks down there. You got a support right over here. You got another support down over here. Loads of rejections to get through. But I think that's why it's kind of like setting up on the LTF. Carry like a support and then re-break those lows by 51.83. Possibly gonna come down. You see, daily bias is still waiting, right? It's still waiting. There's no real direction on PA. No real direction. But let's see if it breaks. Let's see how it breaks. Didn't create that support though. It's flipping in the last few seconds. Oh, did it flip back? Bullish? Oh, no, it didn't. No, it did not, sir. Let's read up on some of these fundamentals. Let's get the papers out. Okay, look at this. Breaking low. Sellers coming in. Sellers coming in. Setup could look a bit more cleaner than it did, but gold falls as a Middle East conflict cloud outlook. Let's see. Gold prices fall in early trading, but remains above the 5,200 mark as investors grapple with mixed messages of the Middle East conflict. That's really been kind of sending the signals on gold haywire. It's just not getting a clear direction. Bullion gained the... I think for gold, it's better if the war just ended at this point, the way it's going. Bullion gained in the previous session, boosted by a softer dollar and falling oil prices that ease inflation concerns. The developments continue to obscure the outlook for interest rate cuts in the US. This has seen investors withdraw increasing amounts of gold from ETFs. Traders now await the release of US inflation data later this week. That's the problem here, because this war is creating some kind of exactly as they said, a withdrawal from gold. A small withdrawal from gold. Small reallocation. Oh, nice. Someone's pushing here. Oh, I just paid like 37. There's something cooking up there. Oh, I think it came in earlier. There's a small gap as well. Ah, I didn't see it because of the box. The highlight was kind of like obscuring the freaking support that was here. There's like a small... There's a problem with doing analysis. I never really do analysis when I trade, like personally, because it creates like a bias, you know? Like, and it takes time as well to draw these boxes. It creates a necessary bias. You can just read the candles. Read the naked charts. Man, that's one thing I recommend. If you haven't started reading naked charts, get really good at reading naked charts. You know, you gotta get good at reading naked charts. These are just for demonstration purposes here. But this is this seems to have been the breakout. But something funny actually happened towards a break right here. We got like a small little gap that was formed. But it looks like it just paid out through that distribution. Nice little TFX confirmation, about 70 pips. You gotta go when you join the mentorship, man. Just study those diagrams on the WAP database, and then have them with you when we're streaming. Have them with you when you're streaming. Make your notes. Have them with you when you're streaming, and make use of the mentorship channels as well. So you gotta like be able to see it a lot clearer. But yeah, this thing is currently in a distribution phase. Wait. Okay, there we go. TradingView doesn't like when you switch timeframes too often. It's gotta say, hey man, what are you doing over here? You just stick on one time frame? Like, no, we gotta see everything with one monitor. You gotta see it all. one screen. Because if you got too many screens, you're going to get confused. You got one eye like this and the other eye like this. You see those traders got like 10 screens? Or like they got one screen, but with this little layouts over here. We got like so many layouts. They're going to look like some octopus traders. Oh man, retail trader got so many screens. Feels pretty cool. But in reality, it just creates you a lot of unnecessary problems. I remember when I used to do that, I used to always have this problem with setups happening at the same time and deciding which one that I had to take. And then when I take them, it's not that one would play out and like one would lose, man. Sometimes they'll both lose. It was just because of the general market condition at that point. So it's like, I think as a day trader, it's just not applicable to look at too many things. Like you just need one pair. Provided that you're trading anywhere below, I think the 4 hour. 1 hour can be a bit high, but anywhere below the 4 hour should be good. If you're above these like 1 hour, 4 hour, you might end up having a much larger watch list. There's one guy I used to watch. I think his name was, I forgot his name. He's got like 4 hour setups on trend lines, and you gotta like kind of monitor a lot of them. But anywhere between like 1 hour below, you're good. You're good. Just focus on 1 or 2 pairs. Preferably have a favorite as well, so you don't always have to pick and choose. So for me, even if I get oil, favorite pair is still gonna be gold. So I'll prioritize gold more than oil. I think oil would just be something if gold is just completely trash. Then you can like, you know, look at that and see what's cooking. Because sometimes the setups on oil can be very clean and straightforward. Like if you got these very obvious type of breakout situations or clean ranges like this, you get some kind of confirmations for runners. It can be very clean and obvious. Then you'd want to incorporate that secondary instrument. But yeah, this just played out here. Don't know if y'all managed to catch this. If you're looking for TFX entry, that happened on the side breaking. It's what, 24 minutes into London. Yeah, 24 minutes into London. So pretty quick session that is. The only thing is that it's not trending. So that's the only confluence that's missing on the day. We don't have a trending environment. I have 2, and yes, you have to have a swivel head. Exactly. When I started trading, I was actually gathering as many screens as I possibly could. Let me show you like all the screens, laptops, everything. Every single screen that I could find in the crib, I was trying to incorporate. So you got here 1, 2, 3. I think I had more than this at some point. Where is it? Where's the rest? Where's that other picture? There's another picture where I had more. I had more than these. I had 1, 2 monitors, laptop 3, 4, and then another smaller laptop 5 screens. And I thought like the whole idea here was that I'm gonna have more screens and I'm gonna be able to be a better trader. And also you can see the sticky notes right here. Damn, I wish I could read them. You got sticky notes right here with highlights on there. We got the magic keys. Man, this is the thing that helped me think about risk. When I got, you don't need them, but it kind of like it opened the door to risk management, right? It got me thinking about, okay, maybe I can control my trades minus just looking at risk to reward. Maybe there's a way that we can balance, because surely institutions are not doing risk to rewards, are they? That wouldn't make sense, you know? So I was thinking, okay, so how can I lose less? How can I lose less? How can risk be more variable? How can I, through managing risk, find opportunities to maximize profits? Then, you know, I just put in the work. So I was just studying. So you see, these are my notes over here. You see that A4 piece of paper, like always highlighted? Man, this A4 piece of paper here, that would always get updated daily. So I'd have like on my computer, the notes. And then if something was to happen, I could learn one thing today, I'd have to like waste so much paper, because I always wanted it to be Like I wanted it to be the plan. Like every day the idea was like, how can this be the final A4 piece of paper that I'm just gonna follow and make money from? So like every day I would like, after a couple of days, maybe daily, find something new I could improve and then reprint it and then re-highlight it, which was so much work, but that was like my OCD. Every day I had to reprint, re-highlight, keep doing the same thing 1% every day, just showing up exactly to even the seat. The reason I bought this seat was because, you know, during the time my mentor had a seat like this, so I was like, man, this seat's gonna make me profitable. So I was like, I'm gonna get all the screens, I'm gonna get the seat. I was also doing meditation here. You can see with the candle, I used to wake up like early mornings. This room used to be dark. I used to have like LEDs under the what you call it, the desk over there in the darkness with my binaural beats, and just like get into the zone. Try get into the zone. I had a couple rules here. I believe these are the 5 fundamental truths of trading. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is like anything can happen in the market. I kind of forgot the other ones, but we got the 5 fundamental truths of trading right up there. We got the trading times here on the sticky notes. So I was trading, that looks like London Open and New York session. You can see again highlighted in the middle. I don't know if y'all can see it on stream too well. Highlighted in the middle is my trading times. Correct? So this is the time I need to be locked in, need to be on the chart. And this is the work that I put in. Y'all didn't see the work that I put in. Y'all only saw the result that I put in. But man, it was a grueling process. Like I used to, this was before I was even trading the Asia, man. There was a point where I was trading the Asia as well. So essentially I'd have Asia, London, New York. But I remember Asia, I moved the table. There was somewhere else in the room. There was a grueling process. This was once a standing desk as well. Put like a few crates under there. There was once a standing desk too. Man, I experimented with literally everything. Chat, like literally everything. From the wackiest ideas of even stepping back a few, a few feet, so I could try and like look at the market differently. I would step back a few feet and say, okay, man, like, am I gonna see something different if I view from a distance? And then I also tried one time when I was a bit drunk. I wanted to see like, how does it feel looking at chart when I'm drunk? Maybe I'm gonna get like some kind of a eureka moment, you know. But instead, I took a loss during the Asia session instead of my eureka moment. It was just a fat loss. Oh man, like, I don't know. You gotta love the process though, and you gotta find a way to enjoy it as well. Correct? Like, so at that point in time, I was trading a $500 account, and the whole idea was not to blow that account. Look at this. My chair costed more than my freaking account, probably. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to be comfortable, and I just want to focus on skill. That's it. No funded programs. The funded programs came towards the tail end. But yeah, that's the journey. That's what you gotta focus on. Just focus on the skill. But right now it's in a different kind of distribution, like a smaller one right over here as well. Looks like I just did like a small break and a retest. Oh! Why are you running? There's a tiny little distribution right there. Yeah, this is hacking into the matrix. You should send your setups, chat. Send your setups over here. Let's see where you're currently at. It's always a beautiful thing to have. You know, you could send it in here. Maybe one day you might want to reflect on it. We're gonna remember. Oh, we got a Discord. I sent in some images of there. You can send in your setups here on Showcase. Where? I think we had some other setups here. Oh yeah, Mr. Waggy. Mr. Waggy is no longer with us, but look at Mr. Waggy's setup. It's like a party. We got a party setup here. Look at this. Look at all these monitors. Man's ready for war. It would be cool if the lights could just change color according to your P&L in the day. You can set over here too. Sorry about that. Sorry, Woods, man. Your picture here. We need more posts. We need more posts. Let's see. Yeah, I think we just had a move here. Just had a move here, like 70 pips. Set up right now. When I started to find a bit more consistency, laptops went, monitors went, and the whole idea was like, okay, because usually in the beginning it's about acquiring, right? With trading, it's about acquiring. It's a natural process. You want to acquire the nicer seat, the more monitors, the funded accounts, the like courses, the knowledge. It's all acquiring in the beginning, and then towards the end, now you're just gonna remove that stuff. You wanna remove as much of it as possible, kind of just refine your life and your lifestyle a bit more as well, and say like, okay, I've been through this, so now we gotta streamline everything. What we need, what we don't really need. But it's good. You gotta acquire. That's why I say you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? Just acquire as much knowledge. Be a sponge. Be a sponge with knowledge. In the beginning as much as you can. Don't get discouraged. Just understand that you are being a sponge, and it may feel overwhelming, but that's a breakout point, because man, when you break out, it's always going to be the same thing in anything you do in life. You acquire so much, but when you break out, it's like you're breaking into clear skies and it becomes smooth sailing. Correct? But you just gotta, stick it through, put your head down, put in the work, and yeah, it's pretty nice. And just set yourself like a pace. You gotta pace yourself based on what it is that you're trying to achieve, because you can't try and like break out too hard when you're just starting the journey, knowing that you need to at least give yourself some time focusing on some few concepts. Like if you're new to TFX concepts, I would recommend at least like focus like 6 months. Give yourself like 3 to 6 months of actually trying your best at it. Don't strategy hop. Don't try not to waste time. But let's see. Right now, I just had a push here. This is about close 70 pips. 70 pips just pulled back. So just had another distribution phase right there. So it's the same thing that happened up here. Just got like a mini one right there. So that's what I like about gold. It's actually moving somewhere. At least it's paying. It seems to be paying traders out. So I can see people making money here. I can't see the people, but I can see the candles. I can see the people making money because I can see the moves. Because usually, like when I lose or win a trade, I'm making or losing money with other people, correct? Like, and it makes more sense when you're consistent. Because when you're not consistent, you're just losing like majority people. But like when you're consistent, the way you view winning and losing trades is kind of like slightly different. It's kind of slightly different. So that you start to understand, like, hey, like you're gonna lose. It's part of the process to lose, but you just want to keep being where the winning traders are. You just want to keep showing up where the winning traders are on a day-to-day basis, by following your entry requirements. So I see like right now they're still getting paid out. Like, man, look at this beautiful sell right here too. Break of support, boom, distributed. This was like about that's about like 105 pip move right there. You also got one right here, boom, boom, that paid them out. You got this mini one, boom, boom. Because like when you have entry requirements, you can actually paper trade. You can actually start the session and see if you're winning or losing. But when you don't have a plan, man, everything is just hindsight. And the tricky thing about hindsight is you can trick yourself sometimes to thinking that you have a profitable system. That used to happen to me a lot. And that happens to a lot of people in the beginning of their journey whilst they're learning. Because you're going to learn like breakouts or FVGs or something. And when you do your back testing on it, it always kind of seems like it's working out, right? So sometimes you got to be kind of like careful with the hindsight aspect of things. You got to try and make it as true as a possible, that when you do your back testing, that it is what it is, you know? Because sometimes you're gonna always see what you want in life. Even like let's say, for example, you want a new phone, right? Maybe there might be something better out there, but because you just want it so badly, you don't see anything else. It's the same psychological tricks that play on you in the market when you've been sitting on the charts for too long, and then you start to see things which are not actually there. So you just gotta be cautious. But this is setting up again. It seems it could do like an inverted on this one. But so far it's been playing. There's even a mini buy that played out right here. That pushed for about 14 and then reversed. So that would be a loss. That would be a loss right here. That was about like 14 pips and pulled down. So like one win, one loss, one win, one win. 1, 2, 3. 3 wins, 1 loss. Setting up again. And make sure you don't overtrade, because it's so tempting as well. Even I get tempted to overtrade because you're gonna see it happen over and over, that you just want to keep taking them. But I would say like focus on a maximum of 3 trades. Maximum of 3 trades. I'm up 1 trade here today, and I still got some room for even another trade. Even though you're up like 5%, 10%, 20%, it doesn't mean that you gotta have like these fun coupons that you can now go and play the slot machines. You know, it means that awesome, you got a trade today, you made this much percentage gains. Protect it, because you don't know when the next cluster of losing trades is gonna come, and that cluster is just around the corner for everybody. But yeah, we gotta set up here. I took 1 trade today and I'm going to try a second. Amazing. As long as you manage your risk on that first trade, go for it. Too many screens cause information overload. Indeed. And I trade on my watch, I feel isolated. What do you mean you trade on your watch? People trade in their Teslas. I trade on your Tesla in traffic. You saw that move Elon Musk pulled the other day? He was going to court. He was going to a courtroom, and he had like this pretty nice Tesla pull up. There's like a decoy Tesla, and all the paparazzi were on that car, and then you just see Elon swiftly move into the courthouse. Like, he did it so smooth. Yeah, like some Tony Stark shit. Probably nobody even in the Tesla. Probably like automated self-driving. It's kind of cool. I was thinking about upgrading to a big TV size on the wall to see the chart better. Yeah, I've come to realize, like, you all gonna want those things, but later you feel good about getting it, but it makes you feel more like, you know, the whole idea behind it. I've come to realize it makes you feel good because you're investing in yourself. So even if you do end up getting it, it's like you're investing in yourself. You're taking a risk on like a business that, or like a vision that you want to see through. So it's never really a waste in that regard. Like, you got it because you are actually trying. Some people don't even try. So, you know, like, kudos for trying. Because of course you're going to spend money in any kind of business venture that you're going to start. People think they're going to start trading for free. They think they're gonna get like a giveaway and they're gonna start getting funded accounts and they're gonna start making money just like that. Like there's no business that you're gonna start without having some initial investment. So even if you don't use it later, what it is you're showing yourself is that you've tried it, so you know you're not gonna go back to it, or you're not gonna feel like you're gonna need to do that again. And the more you bang out that failure, the faster that you move forward. Faster that you move forward. So you try it, see if it works out, doesn't work out, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Some people don't even do that. They're gonna stay in the same spot like for years and years and years and complain and say, oh, this and that, trading's a scam, oh, it's not possible. But these are the same people who would never invest in themselves. They're the same kind of person who would tell you week by week, oh, I'm starting a new diet, I'm starting a new diet, I'm planning on losing weight, New Year's resolution, this is my New Year's resolution, new me, new... You know, those are the type of people that's just gonna waste time, but they never actually try and fail. Because when you do something, essentially you're starting to fail so you can get better, not so you can succeed flawlessly. It's very rare that you get a flawless victory when you're pursuing something, a new skill. Like even me trading oil, like I don't expect like a flawless victory on trading oil, but you know, I'm monitoring it. At least I got a good foundation. Man, look at this. Look at this. At least I got a good foundation. You know, I got a good goddamn foundation here. So I think, you know, I could have a pretty nice shot. See that TFX concept? I hope y'all see it. The only thing that's missing is the trend. The trend is just not there. But you see what I mean? Like oil freaking moves and it kind of moving like gold. It's different from like NQ so far that what I've seen or experienced. It moves like intentional. It moves during this time as well. It's like moving during the London. Look at that beautiful range right there. Little SMA crossover. Your rejections to the downside. There was that sell that played out previously like right here. And then there's that buy that's playing out right now. Clean. So it's just about foundation. If you got a foundation, you have a ghost of a chance of having that flawless approach to a new system, you know. But like if you're starting from scratch, there's a low probability that you're gonna get a flawless introduction into it. You just gotta fail somewhere or like really try and push yourself. That's why, you know, the whole idea behind TFX concepts is to provide you with a foundation that you can build a pizza on. You know, it all starts with the dough. A good pizza gonna start with the dough. The presentation of the dough, the way the dough is, because you can have all the best toppings, you can have every topping in the world, and you can put caviar on that thing. But man, if the dough sucks, the pizza sucks. You know, you're gonna chew on like raw dough or like something that's not nice. So that's the idea here. But you see, you got some nice clean range on Goldie. See if it follows through as well. Because it's currently at a point A right now. Let's see if these buys get paid out. Trading's not always about trading. It's called trading, but in reality, what it is just waiting and monitoring. Waiting, monitoring, watching. But man, that oil move is beautiful. See that little stop loss situation? About like 20 pips stop loss below 1 minute. And like 16.5. Like the way it's what we call like the distance between the candles seems to be quite equivalent to gold as well, isn't it? Like this could be like an easily 16.5 pip stop. Do I still use magic keys? No, I have them, but I don't use them. Hey, Tetra, earlier you used to trade on the 5-minute time frame. Why did you switch to the 1 minute? Because of the massive candles? We still trade on the 5-minute. It's just the stop losses are the same. But yeah, they're just a lot bigger. You see like this 5-minute candle here. Oh my days, look at oil pumping. It's like an 80 pip candle. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, I think this should be like 80 pip. I think that's how you're gonna read oil. There's like 81.5. Because the candles are huge, but we still take these kind of shotgun plays with tighter stops. So you see something like this, nice little 16.5 right there, a little bit of a shotgun entry on oil. And oil did actually close above that resistance. You see clean range, close above the resistance here. It's heading up to fill up this area. This is a buy, but the buy target that we spoke about. It's coming out from here, from these lows. So that's the target. You know, these targets are like magnets, right? Like when the market is attracted to them, they're gonna find the way towards them. Like these are like you could think like institutional marks maybe, but the market will get there if it wants to get there. As you already know, like the markets to some extent are already manipulated. Like all you got to do is watch that movie The Big Short and see exactly what Michael Burry went through. That's how institutions, if they want to move money somewhere, it's gonna get there. It doesn't really matter. They break the laws of science in a sense. You know, if they want to get there, they will get there. It doesn't matter who's buying, who's selling, they will get there. If you haven't watched the movie The Big Short, just watch that movie. Unless it's like really detrimental to the economy, then they'll have to obviously change direction. But this is what we kind of look at when we say a potential targets, right? Because these targets are like magnets. Like these ranges are like magnets. Look at this. Even like from here, boom, and start breaking. What was that resistance? Nice little fill of that range. Area right over here. Look at it from here down towards this point. See, these levels are like magnets from here to here, like a magnet. So whenever you're holding a running trade, that kind of what gives you confidence. We're gonna do a simulation on runners this weekend on the WAP. We'll just try a simulation where we only hold runners and see what the outcome is gonna be. We only hold runners and see what the outcome is gonna be. Because at the end of the day, these breakout plays, they're also meant to disrespect these levels. You see, that's why we mentioned that price is accumulating right below here. $86 a barrel, like we always say. Why does it do that? It's doing that to accumulate orders so it can break through those levels. Oh my days, what the heck is oil doing over here? You see, this is why it's important to paper trade. So like when you're watching it, you kind of get used to the pair and used to the movements. So it's quite interesting, because typically we wouldn't see that type of reaction on gold. At least I haven't in a minute. This candle here is equivalent to what's happening on the weekly. So you can see the nature of the pair. You see this? It's happening on the weekly because markets are fractal. You can see it from the higher to the lower time frame. Even in the most like discrete ways, it's hard to explain, but the most like discrete ways like this, you can start to build a relationship with the instrument. And remember, like what we're doing is day trading. We're learning how to read price action, right? So we need to understand how price moves, beyond just drawing like a zone and waiting for it to tap. What's good, Ragnar? Let Danny Boy comment, man. Let's get it. He's giving the channel engagement. You're never gonna get rid of it. Like there are a lot of them. There are a lot of these guys. I mean, kudos for timing it out if it gets out of hand, but there's a lot of them. I don't entertain those questions anymore. It's useless to me. That's like, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink type stuff, you know? And the more you beat your head trying to like talk to them, you're kind of wasting your time. But we don't do that here. We just keep it moving. You find value or not, it's none of my problem, you know. That's you. That's your journey. God's given you your journey. Maybe he's doing this so he can direct you somewhere else, you know. Maybe this is something that, you know, it can be almost spiritual. It might just be a personal redirection for the guy. So yeah, listen to your instincts, man. If you believe that trading is not real, then don't do it. Go focus on something else. There's a bigger plan for you, maybe. But don't spread your negativity on other people. You know, you can't like tell somebody that they can't do something because you don't believe that you can do it. Damn, Daniel, need some whips. Never do that. That's one thing that I never do. I attempt to never do that. When somebody tells me that they want to do something, I want them to do it. I want to see them do it. Obviously, like when they tell you, it's like they're kind of getting that feeling of actually achieving it out first, which is kind of risky. Because most people who do that never end up doing the thing that they said they're going to do. But you want to see people succeed, right? People want to see you do good, but not better than them. But I want to see you do better than me. I want to see my students do better than me. If you guys make like more money or better trades, that's awesome. That's the whole idea here. It's not a competition. It can never be a competition because there's always a bigger guy. Let's see. There's always a bigger guy. Like even last year, man, I thought I did amazing. I did amazing last year, but man, people did really good last year. I saw somebody make $1 million in one trade. I saw somebody make 120 or 20+% in 9 months. You know, I saw all these people doing amazing things. There's always gonna be someone better than you, so you just gotta stay on your lane. Because on your lane, there's no competition on your own lane. It's just you. And the great thing about being on your own lane is there's no traffic. You just keep moving at your own pace. One move fast, move fast. One move slow, move slow. And this is setting up again here. Let's see, that first breakout was a... Yeah, that was a bit of a dud. Broke the highs and pulled down. See how this next one breaks. Man, but that was an amazing move though, right here. About like 170 pips. Want to see what the next setup on oil is gonna look like, because I know it's still on the way up right now. It's still looking to fill this range. It's going up towards 88,400. Quick question: what do you pay more attention to, daily bias or session bias? Session, both. Yeah, but like if you want the strongest confluence, you gotta use like session bias, I guess, for that specific session you're trading. It's like but you see the tricky thing is it's not always the same, because during pre-London, maybe daily is bullish, London is bullish, but you know, we tend to have like different times in the market, price retraces. Like, for example, 1 hour into London, maybe you can expect some retracements, maybe like pulls up again. During that pre-NY time at 6 a.m., even if we're up, like, let's say on the daily change, 1.40% plus. Usually what I've seen with the And why is we're gonna have like these counter trend moves, really strong counter trends. You have New York session open. New York typically will like fake out. You see, even though everything is bullish, would like fake out and then continue to move up. So that's what we call fluctuation. So you're gonna have that daily. Daily can still be moving up, but since you're a day trader, you got to deal with that fluctuation. So it's about understanding the time that you're trading and how price behaves on each time. Because when the day ends, it's just gonna look like the daily went up like this. But you see, you got a lot of fluctuation there throughout the day. So I think it's more of like understanding the time. So with London and pre-London, daily bias or session bias, which would be in confluence of the daily bias, is good to have. The daily bullish, look for buys. It's also about, just being fluid. Sometimes, because every moment the market is unique. Sometimes even if you might see like a very nice clean sell idea, because also get this right, sometimes the daily can be bullish, like 1.80 to even 2%, but it could just be a pulling back of the wave. Because when you have a really big wave hit the shore, if a daily candle came down like really heavily like this and it hits the shore, that retracement's gonna be much bigger as well when it's going back into the ocean like this. So it can make it seem like it's trending, but it's just a pullback, right? It's just a pullback. So these are just small things that I guess it's good to keep in mind. But that's more stuff to do with like experience and looking at the charts more than anything else. Like I would expect a big pullback from this oil, for example, the way it came down so heavy right here. Let's see, you see like oil came down so heavy on this candlestick, boom, and you're getting kind of like a pull up here. Oh, it actually pushed down about negative 10%, then pulled back up so about 7.78%, but it still looks like it wants to. Ideally, it should have happened on this candle though. I feel like this candle should have like pull up, like retrace a bit more. But it looks like it's kind of holding, gradually moving up bullish. We're going to remove the potential sells. It's just broken out from this range. Got through the 15 and the 5-minute resistance. You see it's heading, told you right here, that's the target. So how close are we right now to the target? We pretty much hit it. We pretty much hit the 65% mark. But that was a buy side target that we're looking at since we came on stream. So remember, we came onto stream right over here. Markets can be a bit elusive. We've been on stream only for 1 hour 8 minutes, yet so much has already played through. It was, you see, this was when we came onto stream, and this we said was our target right here by 88.3. See how that acts as a magnet. So that's why I mean, like, get your foundation right. Just wait for those setups and execute without hesitation. As long as your analysis is simple to follow as well. Have simple analysis. Whereas gold just played out the breakout that we spoke about here. So, I don't know what else we can do. Great explanation. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I see. So the sellers got paid out here by like 33 pips. Trading is actually light work when you know what you're doing. When you have a foundation, you forget about the fact that, if you have a losing or winning trade, you think about it more in terms of like, and especially it helps if you got a strategy which can give you at least a setup on each hourly candle. Like the way I trade, at least 1 to 3 setups per hourly candle. So at least I can visualize it and I can kind of see the hits, the clusters of winning and losing trades, and I can kind of have a better interpretation of what to expect with my results as well if I can see that. Some people it's very difficult because they gotta have to wait like really long for setups to form. They're trading the higher time frames, they got really specific models. So it's a bit discouraging if you wait for something long and then it's a losing trade. and then you have to wait a bit longer. But if you can at least get them on the same instrument, play out in a shorter time span, this is the mindset of a scalper. You better understand the pairs, and the need to execute with confidence and not be too worried about the outcomes. New hour candle, let's see. Yeah, new hour candle here. Got about like 10 minutes into it. They said they paid out the sellers. Now it's gonna set up again. Light work. One win here. One loss here. One win here. 2 wins, 1 loss. 2 losses. 2 wins. 3 wins now. 3 wins, 2 losses. So just like, you know, paper trading. The problem is you can't overtrade. Any system overtraded will either come out in the end like most of the time losing. Most of the time it's going to be losing. Any system that you're going to overtrade. Because say the house always wins to... the house will always have that variable of winning. Yeah, you have to understand not everyone wants their income out there. Exactly. I don't want my income out there. What for? If I was making money like selling courses or maybe YouTube, I'll show you like, you know, stuff like that. Maybe I'll show my YouTube income. Like these are just side incomes. I can show you that. I'm not gonna show you my main income. That's like me. And first of all, you don't even know me, Danny. That's like me going out on the road, finding a random guy driving a nice car, and then asking him, "Hey man, can you show me your bank account? This is a nice car, man. Can you show me your bank account? How much money you got in your bank account? Are you dumb or you stupid?" You know, what you're seeking is knowledge, my friend. Don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, knowledge will set you free. If you've been watching all these people, you can go on YouTube right now and find a bunch of people showing you what they need to be showing you. How has that helped you so far in your journey? You can go on YouTube right now and find all that information that you want to see. But how has that helped you so far? How is that working for you? The only thing that's going to set you free, my friend, is knowledge. I was setting up another version of the move right over here. Nice little extension. Got that extended mag. Ready to go maybe for the buyback above. Right here. Still got that clean range as well. I think about like, how many pips is this? About like 98, 100 pips. Got the extended mag in. Battlefield style. Tracking the global economy just got easier. Meet updated macro maps. This is like Conflictly. Oh, we already saw this. Macro Maps 2.0. Sharper visuals, deeper insights. I think we even got a book mapped somewhere here. This Pine Use Flow Community. There's macro maps over here. Boy wants me to show him all my details. I don't even know how much my own family is worth, bro. I don't even know how much my parents have in their bank accounts. I want to see where this is gonna break out, which direction. But let me tell you something. You just do the math. You just do the math. It's not that difficult. We got a spreadsheet here. Doesn't matter if you do it on a big account. Doesn't matter if you do it on a small account. As long as you can do it is the important thing. Oh, I don't think we got a command spreadsheet. Oh, we do. Oh, nice. Also added in this one. It's not easy to trade TFX concepts on prop firms anymore. Most of them reduce metal leverage to 1.5. Most of them, but not all of them. Just don't allow yourself to be put in a fishbowl. Just understand there's a bigger world out there than just a prop firm. You say trading internal structure is more difficult than trading the overall market structure, since internal moves can create more noise and false breakouts. But even what you say, the internal structure compared to overall structure, it's the same thing. Like the structure is structure, right? Like this, if you didn't know, I understand where you're coming from, but if you didn't know, if I just showed you this as a chart, I mean, like I could easily, most people would be, most people would not be able to tell what time frame this is. That could easily be a daily candle. The way I usually be able to tell what time frame it is because of how thin the candles look. Somehow, like on the daily time frame, the candles look a lot thicker. So if you show me like a chart like this, I can kind of tell it's a daily, but most people would not be able to. And the whole idea is that it's just gonna be the same thing anyway. You know what I mean? Because look at the way, even on the overall structure, like, you know, the tricky thing with this is, at least on the internal structure, it's like a quick move, right? Like from here to here, in and out, swim from one island to the next. But on the higher time frame, you're gonna have to worry a lot more about the macros. So it could be moving up and then Trump tweets something. It could be moving down and then a bomb lands somewhere. I think Dubai got bombed again today. It was like, come to Dubai. Airport got bombed probably again. I saw something on Instagram. And that's the thing. There's always something that can come in the way of this. So that's the trick. The longer you're in, that's what we call a risk on. Anything can happen. So it's a question of how can you balance, right? So even if you say you want to trade overall structure, it's like, what you're going to do with the stop losses, meaning wider stops, it would just be the same type of move on a lower time frame. There's no escaping it, really. These are just the way that the market is built. At least from my understanding, people think they can escape it, usually on the HTF. But if you accept that the markets are fractal, then you start to realize you can't escape it. Anything that happens on the lower can happen on the higher, and vice versa. You know, that's why on yesterday's gaming stream, oil is setting up again. It's gonna see a breakout. Well, on yesterday's gaming stream, we spoke about how I think I mentioned it in the video that I posted as well. But just watch the recent video of of the thing that I posted, that Iran is cooked, on my channel. Then you'll see that fractal again. and what we can expect from them as well, because they can give us a really good hint of where price is heading. So you can imagine when we take a trade like this, for example, if we take a buy here and we know price is moving up to fill a range, imagine seeing that setup happen on the daily, right? So you get an understanding of where you might even be for the week. And then when you see it playing out, you know it's distributing on the HTF. Then you execute on the lower time frames. Yeah, I mean, like, the people who gonna say that, what I've come to realize, like, at least over the years of trading and learning from various people, look at this breakout, various people, is that sometimes they just were not able to learn to trade the lower time frames. So they typically say things like that, you know, because they were not, you know, it's pretty fast paced. Like I don't even know if the chat really knows when I'm breaking down like this. I can't say for 100% certainty. I know some people do, but I can't say 100% certainty we're all looking at it the same way, because it's something that most people just don't do, this type of analysis, that we do it so quickly and so back to back. Like, people prefer trades. Like, even the other day, a lady said, there's something wrong with your strategy, too many entry confirmations. You know, people are not used to that pace. Because the idea is not to take every single trade back to back. You know, you still have to be disciplined. You still have to just pick and choose the ones that you want to take, based off the times that you trade. How clean the setup may look to you. It's not a problem if a strategy has multiple entries back to back necessarily. This one will give us like 1 or 3 an hour, right? It's only a problem if you can't manage yourself, if you can't control the urge to trade and that sort of thing. That's the only problem. Each system, it will have its drawdowns, you know. The way you beat the market is, and your only advantage as a retail trader is, you don't have to trade every single trade. But a hedge fund or institutions have to be in the market. Even by explanation of a hedge fund, they're meant to be buying and selling. They're always in the market. They even have automated robots. We call it the Asia session. The Asia is kind of like an automated session, right? It's an automated session. So, you know, they kind of keep the money moving. I took like 1 trade today. I'm up about 7%. I'm just sitting on my hands. It wouldn't matter if I was up 7 or up 1 or down 5 or down 2. It wouldn't make a difference. Still be sitting on my hands. Too many entry confirmations. It's a big problem. You might think that people want signals, but people don't always want a signal. They just want these signals. All right. So sometimes you can say someone wants 3 trades, then you end up giving them like 5 signals per day. It becomes overwhelming and it becomes confusing even. You gotta start wondering, what's up with this guy? It's always in these trades. But you see, it's like it's different from what you want and what you need. You might want something, and then when you get it, you might realize that's not what you need. And that's kind of what I'm doing on stream right now. Because I've noticed on stream people love signals. So I decided, hey, let me give them a dosage of signals, so they can realize what they want is going to be very separate from what it is that they need. Because in the end, you know, the result is going to speak for itself. Just like any strategy, over traded, you will have the same result until you cultivate discipline, and the market will demand discipline from you one way or the other. And you can only find that discipline internally. You see what I'm doing here? Because I know some people can't help themselves, so we're gonna get them. I mean, it's a better chance they would have trading alone anyway. It's still a better probability. Like, so far, we're like even, right? We've had the same amount of wins and losses like since this period right here. Since when I could see the chart when we came in. Back here, it's like at a break even. So you see, the more you trade, you're gonna put so much work into it, and you kind of be like running in place. Best case scenario, running in place. Because the truth is, some people only gonna learn through failure. It's the same way like someone's gonna tell you, hey, don't touch that, but you're still gonna touch it because you wanna experience the heat for yourself. So you experience that heat and you're like, oh damn. Man, I remember the first time I touched an electric fence, everyone tell me, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Then I touched it. I got shocked. I got shocked. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I went home and I got an ass whooping after doing that. And then I learned my lesson. Then I was like, oh, electric fences? No go. No go. But it felt weird. Y'all have been shocked by electric fence? It was like a force field. But you see, if you learn that lesson soon enough, then you will repeat it again. But you know, some people are dropped on their heads as children, so when they get shocked, they kind of like the shock. You know, they go back for another one. Just like those people blow their accounts. That's why we say there are a lot of degenerates in trading. We call them degens. Degens kind of like go on Wall Street bets. You'll find a lot of these people got dropped off on their heads as children, and they're always going to blow accounts and full port and over risk. There's plenty of them in our industry. I mean, Wall Street in essence is a degen cesspool. People who are very successful being degenerates as well. Because, you know, you kind of have to be a little bit crazy too to become a trader, correct? You can't be all there. You can't be all there. Did this even push? How much was this pushed? I'm calling it a fail, but it's not even a fail. I call that a losing trade, but it's not even a losing trade. That gave us like about a 16 pips. Oh yeah, about like 16, close to 16 pips. That would have been a break-even trade. So yeah, that's still valid. That's still valid. Let's just check out the perimeters. It's just the move looks small because I'm not measuring it out. Say if you just got a trade like that. Yeah, about 16.5. That's TP1 right there. That's TP actually. That's TP2 on the one-to-ones, or break even on the extended mag. It's either break even on extended mag or a TP on the standard magazine size. So yeah, that's a W. Napoleon Bonaparte said, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. Yeah. Napoleon Bonaparte. Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. God, Donald Trump. There's never been a president in history who can do what I've done. I think he recently spoke.
Everybody agreed. I got every country to agree.
Low-key, his hair's looking nice in this.
And now you've done something that...
You know what's so weird? It's like I noticed on Fox News and everything, like you have all these blonde-haired reporters. It's like so Trump. You know, Trump is living in a South Park episode. Like if you watch South Park, like the latest season of South Park, it's like all about Trump. And in reality, Trump is the same guy just living in South Park episode. But like in Fox and all these stations, like they all got like these really blonde hair. Really blonde. It's kind of funny. Like Like I get the image that they're going for. But it's like a weird requirement, you know?
No other president could have done. No, I don't want to brag, but you know they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of
Yeah, low-key's hair is looking good though.
doing. Yeah.
As far as Trump's hairdos go.
No other president. The things I'm doing, nobody else was going to do it. They say it all the time, sir, could you do this? You're the only one can do it. But we got it done, and we got the countries to all go along. Because I said, if you don't do it, I'm going to raise your tariffs to 200%, to 150%, and that's 10 times more than I'm asking for. And every single one, if it took me 5 minutes, that was like a long time. I was doing badly with that one.
Break and retest in the 4-hour support. Yeah, break, but this is holding. This is waiting for core. We got core CPI. Yeah, this core CPI is just holding. So it could be a break and a retest, but it's definitely waiting for news. Still waiting to see this internal range here get mopped up though. We still got about 80 pips towards resistance. Yeah, it's getting ready for another breakouts here soon. But there's no setup on the 1 yet. Okay. It's very nice. A great success. It's a greater success. My name is Borat. Great success. Very nice. Let's see now confirmation wise. Confirmation. Was there a confirmation over here? Got a beautiful kiss of death. The range has been mopped up. Let's see. There was only that 6. You know, this was a move that was meant to play out, by the way. Like right here. This is where it had that confirmation, but it only did about 16 pips. 16 pips and then it came down. But remember again, pips don't really matter in trading. Anyone can make 1% even with 10 pips, 8 pips, 100 pips. Percent is the most important. Pips is just like a unit of measurement. But percent is really what you want to be focusing on. So this actually gave it like 16, pulled down. In terms of a re-entry, the thing I don't like is that resistance right up there. So it kind of made the entry confirmation not as great. But I think this was more of like an impulsive type of an entry at the break of the previous wick high. But in terms of giving you that proper structure, it could have done it on this first break. 100% would have been much more anticipatable. But I do understand the idea of that wick break by the 5-minute right here, so it can keep moving up. I know people who trade like this. They usually wait for these kind of like key wick areas to break, and they get their trades like this. Remember, there's 1,000 ways to skin a goat. So just because I trade TFX concepts doesn't mean I'm oblivious to other market participants. I can see where those entry models are coming in. But what I don't do is I don't draw the FVGs. Usually I'm expecting the ranges to get filled. So you see we just got a nice little range fill over here. You can see people getting paid out. And as it's approaching those highs, we're still in a distribution as we're heading towards a buy side target. This was definitely point A. And we've been hanging out in this point A here for a minute now. You can see like how price kind of stagnated there for a minute. And then now it's like moving again. See, so write a 1 in the chat if you get the flow. At least if you get the flow of how the payouts are working. How the ATM machine here works. So you gotta write a 1 if you know what the ATM machine here works like. If you don't understand that, you know, you just gotta be patient. Oh, look at this. Look at this over here. Another one. Great success. Great success. This is oil. Another potential buy side target here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. You're going to take this to your trading session. And man, I think you're going to see some good results if you just keep your analysis simple like this. Look at this. Beautiful. And the breakout here was all the way. Man, look at this. It was all the way here. But you know, a prop firm wouldn't let you take this trade. So I'm sorry you could not take this trade here. A prop firm, it wouldn't let you take this trade. But you know, this is where the break was. So the break was, and then price started moving up. But you can't take this on a prop firm though. Sorry. You gotta find a different way. You gotta, like, you know, trade those prop firms. But yeah, you gotta leave these trades alone. But yeah, this is a beautiful run. We got a re-entry. Remember the one that we're talking about shortly before? Run back the stream. I don't know at what point, but we just didn't mark it out, but we said it was setting up over here. It was cooking another re-entry, but remember, prop firm's not gonna let you take this, so you gotta find something else to do. But yeah, that was another re-entry right over there. Boom, 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 all the way from the bottom. Got gold over here playing out. More. These are like oil playing out, and the whole idea here is not for me to catch you a trade. I'm not here to catch you a trade. I'm here that you're gonna see it, and you're gonna make those notes. That you gotta make those notes, right? Because it's just the same thing. It's the same thing. There's notes on the WAP database, you know, the videos on the WAP database, the simulations on the WAP database. It's just the same thing. You know, we're just forward testing it quickly over here. So a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people will not even simulate with you, like proper simulation, and they would not forward test like this, because obviously for me to take or to call out trades like this back to back, and you know what's going on, if it's a bad day and then it's going to discourage you, then you know that's not a good thing, because you miss out on the overall picture. Because remember, there's only a certain amount of ways that you can catch these moves in the market. It's not about finding a method to catch each move in each different market condition. You have to stick to one and follow it through and go through the losses and go through the wins as they come. The problem you're going to have is that strategy hopping shit, where you're going to have a strategy work for some time, then it starts losing, and then you strategy hop. Works for some time, it starts losing, you strategy hop. You're never going to find the holy grail of a strategy which will always win. You know, the important thing is look at the clusters of winning and losing and then stick with it. And if it makes sense to you, then you can build upon that foundation. You're going to give a trade in time soon? If you've been paying attention, literally we've called out like how many signals since we started stream, guys. How many signals? I think what you mean to say is kindly teach me how to take those signals is what you mean to say. Not are you gonna give a trade soon? Because you see you're asking the wrong questions. Let me wait for my trading view to load up again. You know, life is all about asking the right questions. I can put you in a room with someone who can change your life, but you're still gonna ask the dumb shit questions that you do. Like, you know, like I got a buddy one time, or more of an acquaintance. I told this story before. He was a trader, and he was, you know, I hadn't seen him in such a long time, and as we're sitting together, he was telling me more about his experience losing money, very well knowing that I do it. And he even said that he's been watching, or he's seen my streams before. I'm like, you're losing money. You're not even asking me the right questions. You're just telling me of your experience. And then that's it. Like, we just left it at that. He told me that he was losing in trading, very well knowing that he can ask the right damn questions, but he didn't. So it just like, he just left it like that. That's the problem. Sometimes you gotta put people in the right room, but they just don't even know the right questions to ask. You know, just the same way if you see a guy with driving a nice car, you know, instead of saying, hey, you know, a nice car, what else? You ask the guy, what do you do for a living? You're not gonna ask guy, can I see your P&L? Can I see your bank account? Can I see this? Can I see that? Did you lease this? Did you rent that? Like, what kind of dumb shit are you, man? Just ask the guy, how did you buy this car? Or how do you afford this car? Or how do you, know, XYZ? What do you do for a living? Can I work for you? What do I have to do what you do? How long is it gonna take you? You don't go ask the guy to see his bank account. That doesn't help you. And instead of admiring, freaking ask the guy what he does for a living. That's how one of my mentors actually started trading. His story was like, you saw this guy drive a really nice car. He went up to him and asked him, hey man, like, what do you do for a living? One of my previous mentors used to like wash cars, right? Used to be wash cars. The guy told him he trades foreign exchange. He didn't even say forex, he said foreign exchange. I'm in the foreign exchange market. And then that's how he started trading. So you had the right questions to ask. Now we should be seeing a little bit of profit taking here towards 51.98 as per usual. Same as on oil spot. Oil spot is also hit potential buy side targets. Now I just gotta wait for it to recalibrate. It's gotta do the same thing. So right in the chat, see we got some few ones. Awesome. We got few ones. Amazing. That's all that I need to see. Just 1 or 2 ones is enough for me. Is enough for me. It's enough for me because, you know, I'm not TGR. I'm not TGR. There's this funny post that we posted yesterday about people who gonna those massive channels in trading which get like 200,000 views and follow those traders like TGR. This is that crowd of people. This is that crowd of people. Wait, how do you go back?
Oh my gosh, bro! Did TGR this week he's hitting strat? Oh my gosh, dude! Dude, it's so funny! Oh, W's in the chat! W's in the chat, bro! Oh, W's in the chat!
He low-key sounds like a South Park character though. But some people just purely do it for entertainment though. Now, some people just have a gambling problem that they don't know that they have. So you gotta check yourself. Yeah, it sounds like Timmy. Timmy. You gotta check yourself and see if you got a gambling problem. You may low-key have a gambling problem. You have to be careful about that. Because you have to be able to differentiate trading from gambling, correct? Like running a business from gambling. If you're liking to take a lot of positions and risky positions, you may have a gambling problem. But it also depends on how you're approaching. If you're approaching that obliviously, then that's risky. But if you're approaching with the intent to fail to learn, that's a different story. Right? Because you do need to take a few L's to get the ball rolling. So to say, like sometimes when you paper trade, it doesn't hit you. The lessons don't hit you as hard as when you actually take the position. Because there's something that happens in your mindset when you take on risk, that it gets you kind of moving, gets the gears spinning a bit more. And that's why it's important to always take those risks on yourself. Because you can't watch from the sidelines consistently. You get too comfortable and you get a bit docile. So you don't feel as much, you don't feel as pushed as much as you need to be. So sometimes I just used to lose trades just to learn a lesson, basically. But paper trading it would not give me the same effect. Gambling culture has been so prominent lately in the online space. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Like if you watch one of the biggest IRL streamers like Neon, Sneeko, they're all like, or like even the Nelk brothers, they're all kind of like promoting these gambling apps. Man, they get paid like tens of millions of dollars to do so on Kick, on these like streaming platforms. Make a lot of money. Logan Paul does it, I think does it as well. Drake does it as well. And the whole idea behind that is affiliation. So what happens is they make it look like they're winning, but it's just like a broker. It's like trading. You know, you just give a guy a broker, give him a funded account and say, hey, go on your stream and talk about funded accounts, talk about the opportunities and send them over. But like what you're seeing is getting free accounts. They can just keep getting free accounts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be getting payouts from those free accounts. It's just there for marketing. But in the gambling space, they can make it look like you're going to press a button and the slot machine goes and it makes it look like you won. Right? It makes it look like you won, but it's all set up. There's a really great movie about this as well. There's a really, really nice movie about this and how these online casinos make a lot of money doing that. Hacking the system. And the movie was about like when it just started, when they just started doing that manipulation. Surprised it didn't give us many options here. Someone is gambling with World War III. Give me more, give me more, give me more. 21 is the one of the best movies for this theme, in my opinion. Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, very good. Very nice movie. Timmy. See, we're just getting profit taking as prices approach the top of the range there. So you see profit taking happen like within a set amount of pips because those are still percentage gains, and it can also happen structurally. See, we should be seeing some profit taking here on oil spot as well, as we are towards buy side target by 88,500. We should be seeing that too, but it's kind of like setting up like it wants to keep pushing up bullish. Here by resistance. Let's see what ranges we got. So if we start pushing up again, look at this, it's breaking. I think it's breaking accumulation. It's breaking accumulation. One right over here. It's breaking accumulation again. It's going towards this next buy side target. Both boys. It accumulated right next to that resistance. Usually it does that when it's trying to break through it. Otherwise, you're gonna have the same reaction like you just did on gold. You see like gold went up and then just came down. You just see like some of that profit taking. But whenever it's like hovering around an area like this, I'm always anticipating that it's trying to break through it, right? I think it makes sense when you're just like reading PA. It just makes sense when it like hovers like this. It's kind of building up orders, so it's attempting to break back above. And you can see it. The market can see the clean ranges too. Sometimes it uses it to fake traders out, but for the most part, if it's just playing with normal price action, it should be going to fill those areas rather than wiping them out. But sometimes it wipes them out on the first go and then fills it up later, like kind of what happened here on gold. Push out like 16.5, 16 pips, and then wiped it out. Wiped this out. Then this move right here, it was more of like a random move because there was not that much structure besides the wick break up over here. So it also does that like almost like obviously intentionally. People think the market is random, but it's random in a very efficient manner, and that's why you can be profitable and take good trades. Yeah, so that's what kind of happened here. It should have like swooped up on the first go. So honestly, if this one's gonna sweep up on the first go, we have a new hourly candlestick opening up here on oil. Let's see, this candle here is done about 225. Yeah, similar to 225. Oil can probably do more than that though. Getting the average of the 1 hours. It could do more if it wanted to. Even this hourly could still push. A really beautiful inception there on oil spot. From here to here. Then a re-entry right here when we came in for the London. Corrected the move. Now it's thinking to keep moving up bullish. Gonna try and break above this area. This area code. And fill this 226 pip range. See how much has it done? It's about 12 pips. At least pay out the first round. It's coming up. It's getting towards TP. Yeah, TP just got hit. TP just got hit on that. Awesome. It's beautifully playing out. Small little accumulation. That small little liquidity grab below the lows there too. It's like that. It's like that song. I got hoes in different area codes. Because that's what it's doing now. It's getting to a different area code. It's gonna stop paying the traders out. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. See how much the drawdown was on this? Not bad, but like, how many pips was that? Yeah, it's like 13.5 pips. Can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. That's what we like to say here on this stream. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, boy. Go trade ICT Concepts. Just try it. Give ICT Concepts 1 full year. Lock into that thing. In 1 year from now, we'll still be around. So, you know, you just take your time. We're not going anywhere. We've only been trading for 6 years. I need to hit at least a decade. A lot of my mentors are at least a decade in. I haven't done enough in a decade, so we'll still be around. Just go experiment with everything you need to experiment with, and then you're gonna see what's happening. You're gonna see the light. That's what I would recommend for you. It's gonna take you time, but you know, sometimes they say God's timing is the best timing, so you gotta trust it. If it happens fast or it happens slow, trust in God's timing. But yeah, this is pulling down right now. There's a bit of profit taking. Oily is trying to move up. It just gave a first round of payouts. That's why I was waiting to see if it was gonna hit the first target over here, which is around 16-20 pips. Because typically that's when we start to see those reactions. So we just see members getting profits in there. People taking out profit. See, you can't see them, but you can't see their faces, but you can see the candles, and you can read their patterns, their behavior. Because that's exactly what I would do when it hits those kinds of targets. Snoop Dogg, you got area codes. I got hoes. See if it can keep moving up. It's just the thing is we have a new hourly candle here in about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then it's gonna open up. You see, people want signals on stream, and then when you give it to them, they can't handle the heat. They break. They're like, oh man, this guy he's not showing me the position. He's not showing me the stop loss to take profit. That's when the break. You know, that's when you know those people, they're not gonna make it. Because they're not chasing, they're not, if you know what's going on, you know exactly where to put your stop loss. You know exactly where you put your TPs. You got all that information. But if you're just looking for handouts, you're never gonna learn. So I'm kind of doing you a favor here. Most people will not even point you in the right direction. I'm pointing you in the right direction. At least you have somewhere to go. You're given a map. You know, some people, you'll give them a map, you'll give them a car, you'll give them everything that they need. You put them on the journey, man, halfway through that journey, they're gonna quit. They're gonna say, oh man, like this is, you know, it's too hot. Car's too hot, or, you know, like fuel's running low, or something happens. Something happens and they just throw everything, the baby and the bathwater out. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to go to the gym, and let's say you're 1 hour later than usual. So you say, oh man, I'm already an hour late. So you're just gonna throw everything out the window. You're already an hour late, so might as well just scrap the whole idea. You know what I mean? What I like to do. It's like also, that's the same habit when an account is about to blow. You take like a losing trade, and you're like, damn, man, this funded challenge, I wanted it to be squeaky clean. And I used to do this a lot. My 3 blown challenges when I was trying to get funded. I wanted it to be squeaky clean. right? So when I took that loss, I was like, oh man, this thing's tainted. So might as well just fucking go all in. Just like risk it all. And then that's how accounts usually get blown. So it starts at a good spot and then something happens and you just like throw everything in the bathwater out. Then you start again. But in trading, you can't really start again. Like if you redeposit, you may be tricking yourself. But in reality, that money is gone. If it was an actual P&L, like a big account, like you can't like if I lose my account, chat, I can't reset that. I don't make enough money from courses or YouTube. Like if I lose my fucking account, I gotta go back to square one. I gotta go find a GOB and then figure out a way to make at least $5,000 that I can tell my boss, hey, listen, thank you for the opportunity. I'll see you next time. At least to get to this point that I can start growing my live account and live somewhat sustainably. But you know, like it's only when you try to do that like real professional, you don't risk, you don't overtrade, you don't do dumb shit trades when there's nothing to fall back. Because some of you that have like a salary right now, some of you have like other things going on, so you can afford to blow that account, right? But when you start doing it for real, you start to realize discipline is super important more than ever. So you already have to start cultivating that discipline as if your life depended on it right now. Otherwise, you don't want to break later and start from scratch. And don't get confused, man. Like some of the people you're watching, oh, I said some of these people have rich families. I've been in this industry long enough to know the difference. Majority of these people come from wealth. They're already rich. That's why you see them with nice cars at such an early stage. Majority of them are already rich. So don't get confused. You have to be so disciplined to make sure you don't fuck up. One of my mentors, like my favorite one, he never bought a luxury car until I think he started buying luxury cars when he was like 8 years into his journey. Right? What he was doing before that was he was mainly like working his business and like buying his house. Right? So you got to be careful that you know what you're doing over here. A lot of these Wall Street guys are also pretty much the same. They just save their money. And you know, for them, it's different because they want to see that money in their bank account. And it's even scary to see it go below a certain threshold, right? Because you want to always keep it above like a certain threshold that you know you're comfortable. Because mentally, when I had 1 year of savings, that made my performance on the chart work much better. So when you have it at a certain threshold, you're able to perform and keep increasing it. But like if you think trading is about lifestyle, the thing is your lifestyle will not be catching up to your performance most of the time. You know, you'll always be kind of like spending too much. And that's typically what social media is going to show you. I know it's a boring way. I know I'm the boring mentor. I get it. I used to have the boring ones and I used to have also the supercar ones. And it's just all about a balance, right? It's just about balance. See, gold from Dubai. Indians can bring 20 grams for men, 40 grams for women, duty free. Hey, why do women get more grams over here? Gold prices in Dubai have recently drawn attention after traders began offering discounts of up to $30 per ounce on global benchmark prices as the Middle East conflict demand and logistics. How are they gonna get the gold in if the airports are locked down? The price cuts have prompted many Indian travelers to wonder whether buying gold in Dubai and bringing it back home is worthwhile. Dubai is such a sneaky country, huh? When these things are going on, now all of a sudden, hey, come over here. Buy some gold. We want you in Dubai. Dubai is nice. Forget the missile over there. Dubai is very nice. Forget the smoke. Look over here. We have a Burj Khalifa. We have Indo ice rink. You can have your McDonald's over here. You can go to the mall. Forget about the smoke. Forget about the smoke over there. There's no war going on here. For me, Dubai looks like a chart that looks like this. Man, look at Dubai in 2015, bro. That thing was, I think 2015 was a desert. Dubai in 2015 was a desert, you know, so they had like a breakout. They had a breakout of the oil, but you know what goes up fast also can come down fast. So about the sustainable growth, man, you know, like Burj Khalifa, they didn't even have plumbing for that building. So you're gonna see trucks full of shit, like just lined up over there taking shit from the buildings. You know, like there was just like an exponential gain, but what goes up sometimes can come down again, like really tough. So you gotta be careful, because people are gonna think they're gonna invest over there, but you know, you gotta be careful. 2015, that place was a desert. And the problem is, the important thing here is management of funds. If the government is good, they gotta manage it properly. Correct. Management of funds. Like we always say, there are countries out there which are oil rich, just like Dubai, but due to poor management, the economy is failing, like Papua New Guinea. You know, we said that yesterday's stream. Papua New Guinea has a lot of oil, but they don't have the infrastructure to refine that oil. So they sell it to foreign investors, but they're pretty much getting screwed on the deal just because a few people in government want to get rich. Let's see what Oily is doing. Yeah, there's a small little setup there too. And the cool thing about this one is it had that reversal pattern that we typically speak about on stream. So if you're new to TFX concepts, this is all gonna seem like maybe hindsight-y. You're not gonna understand it. I don't expect you to understand it. You probably think I'm talking shit, but I'm only talking to the people who understand what I'm saying. You know, I'm not wasting my time here. So you can see we got the reversal confirmation right here as well on this breakout. So what essentially happened here was price push up almost like 30 pips and then give that reversal play towards the downside. You can see it. Structures available. Break of the lows. Nice little clean range on the one. And it broke also into, I think this would be like a later entry. Would kind of suck to miss this one up here. So you got a later one by 87.78. But in this scenario, it still continue to push through that level by like 74 pips. So a few setups that happened here. So you can see how that operates. You got this one, boom. You got 1, 2, 3. Right here. Because now you got that as a liquidity grab above. That would be ideally if you're looking for, because you know the thing is, it wouldn't break the direction it doesn't want to go, correct? It's not like it broke the highs. It's not like here, oh wait, actually we need to be a bit more objective, because I think there was, yeah, it looks like there was an L over here. There was an L over here because this one broke the low after that and then pulled up. There's an L and then there's a W and then there's this other W because it didn't break the highs. It just broke the lows and pulled down. Same as here. Awesome. So that's what I mean, like oil looks like it's behaving similar to gold, and you see how the pace is different from when we're trading NQ. Like it's at a slightly different tempo, isn't it? I think because NQ just moves more during our New York session, that's probably why. But I don't know, like it shouldn't be the case. Like London is still a major session. It should still be a lot of volume in. It's the same way as gold, like trading gold against the dollar. So technically this should also move just during the New York session. But it moves beautifully. Pre-London, London. I think it's gonna flirt with support here by 87,200. Then look to fill its way downwards, about like 171 pips. So this gave me confidence, a lot of confidence in the oil. Since the London Open right here. Should we take an oil trade today? Let's see what the spreads look like. Can try a first oil trade. But it's pretty decent pushes that we're getting. It's not like GJ, because you know GJ, like when it breaks out, it consolidates. It typically would do something like this and then consolidate for a while before moving, which opens up like more risk as well, because you got more risk on because you're in the market. You think FTMO is good for building capital? Yeah, 100%. It's good. It's an avenue for building capital. So definitely use those avenues. They're not all bad. Just use them. Funded accounts. Compounding. You have to use multiple ones instead of just one, right? Most people just focus on one, like funded. But you have to use everything, like funded, compound, whatever you have at your disposal. I would say for any trader is going to at least try get to $5,000. I think that's when you start to really see very nice progress. 5K. It's like $50 a trade on a 1% risk. Big 2%, that's like $100. Make 7%, that's already like 3.5. I made like 3.5 today if I had a 5K account. But I would be catching low risk, high reward. But again, you can focus on percentage gains, right? Like I wouldn't go anything above like 5% per trade. Anywhere between like 1 or 5%. And then you can use that to quickly scale the account to a higher level and then start risking like a good amount. So like goals to get to 10,000, you can do 5% one a day. And once you get to 10,000, you can start slowly scaling back down to something that's more sustainable psychologically. Because the way you're going to trade 5% is going to be different, like if you experience like 4 losing trades in a row, than if you're going to lose 1% for losing trades. So it's a short-term way of just increasing your gains. Just the same way people use mutual funds for maybe like a couple of years to maybe try buy a house. You know, a mutual fund of some sort will give you like 15%. But they're not sustainable for the long term, right? So that's the same kind of way you would approach the market in terms of percentage gains and growth. But if you're still thinking you're going to go into funded and get funded millions of dollars, then as I say, like God has a path for everybody. It might be your path, but in any case, you know, you just have to focus on that. Because I can't sit here and tell you that you won't be able to trade millions of dollars in funded or 100K funded. You may be able to. I'm just trying to share like the safest way, sustainable way that you can go about it in general terms for a lot of people. Because you don't want to be on a funded, you want to trade your own live account. When you don't have restrictions or someone can pull the rug under your feet like literally any day. You gotta worry about payouts. Imagine you got bills coming up. You gotta pay the rent. Your dumb shit bought a $10,000 Rolex. Now you're waiting for that payout and the funded program says, hey, you broke this rule. Or maybe they have insolvency issues like a lot of them do and then they go bust. Then what are you gonna do? You see, it's not sustainable. Man, look at this.
Why are you running?
Cody just completely melting here. Beautiful. Breaking through that support. It's trying to come down to fill back this range. Yeah, that's the dumb shit I was gonna do. I was about to buy a Rolex the first time I was being consistent. I was gonna spend like more than I Not more than I had made, but like a lot of my account was gonna go into buying a Rolex. I don't know if y'all have been following me since some people on Instagram might know this, but I don't know if I still got followers from that period. But there was this Rolex that I wanted to buy, but I was like, man, this is just does not make sense, bro. Because I actually think like that money in my account, I can make more money with it. Then slowly that feeling dies out. And then also at the same time, I realized society doesn't really like people who... People want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. It's better to be low-key, in my opinion. That's how I realized the people who are going to wear Rolexes and those things sitting at restaurants, they don't typically get the best. They get evil eye. Yeah, that's what we call it. They get evil eye. They get a lot of evil eye. Preying on your downfall and whatnot. Let's say low-key. Yeah, we still got about 100 pips. 100 pips down over here. Get that evil eye, man. People gonna see you. They're gonna like envious or whatever the hell goes on in their heads. They're gonna curse you. I don't know if I don't fully believe in evil eye, but definitely something to people. A lot of people do. There's literally this one guy I saw on YouTube. He trades with a helmet because of evil eye. He's a streamer and he streams with a helmet because of evil eye. This guy is yeah, some people really believe in it. It's like he streams in like a kind of a helmet, a big ass helmet. I can't remember what his stream thing was. I just saw it quickly, the algorithm. Exactly, just get some tinfoil on your head and you're gonna be good. Yeah, look at this quote. If you keep doing what's easy, life will stay hard. Black Monday, which occurred on October 19th, 1987, was one of the most significant financial events in history. This day marked a major global stock market crash that affected economies worldwide and resulted in unprecedented financial losses. The estimated worldwide loss was approximately 1.7 trillion. The US Federal Reserve responded quickly by cutting interest rates and providing liquidity to stabilize the market, preventing a broad economic downturn. Shit, man, this looks like he's playing Pac-Man on this monitor. Not like the Bloomberg keyboards of 1987 over here. Imagine that. Like, how do you even... What is that? It kind of looks like some kind of liquidity thing. Man, that's wild. Look at this guy. Smoking his little cigarette. Man's done. You got all these pieces of papers on the ground. They like wash up every day. Sweep up. And you just gotta love this thing. And that's why they say trading is not for everybody. It's not for everybody, man. These are the real guys. These are the gladiators in here. These are gladiators, bro. You got gladiator energy or you got pussy energy? He's still trading funded accounts like a little pussy, watching TGR videos of him driving a Pagani and saying, oh, I want to be like him. Or are you a gladiator? Are you a savage? Are you gonna go for it like you're these are basically our what do you call it, ancestors? Are you gonna go for it like your ancestors did? Are you gonna be like, no, but you know, my funded program doesn't let me hold a trade for 1 minute. Pussy. Look at these guys, bro. These are the real OGs. Real OG. This is where money's made. Yeah, smell money in here. No restrictions, just pure execution. Pure grit is what it is. That's what you gotta do to survive in this game. Is have grit. If you don't have grit, then how are you gonna compete with this guy? This guy's probably not slept in months. This guy's probably running on 3 hours of sleep, smoking a cigarette and with his tongue out, and the market is crashing. It's completely out of his goddamn mind, but he's making money. You know, because he can execute. Because you know what? At the end of the day, this guy doesn't have to be a genius. He doesn't have to be a genius. All he has to do is be able to add and subtract. Literally. He doesn't have to be a mathematical wizard to do what he does. Look at this guy. Look at these guys. What kind of a smart money concept is going on here? Oh, I'm gonna draw an FEG before I put on my ticket. Come on. Grow up. Tough love. That's all that it is. It's just tough love. Alright, let's see. We got like a support over here. The people are gonna be like, I don't like Vic. Vic's rude. I just want an FEG. Every day, it's literally like when you're a day trader for a living, it's like every day going into a market which wants to destroy you. And it kind of changes you as a person. It makes you a little bit more stoic, a little bit more hard on yourself and maybe other people as well. Because every day there's somebody who wants to take your money. And you just have to find a way that you're going to protect your money on that day. You know, it's not like a 9 to 5 or like a business where you got kind of like some reliance on systems. Here you only got to rely on yourself. Can you control your emotions? Can you execute with discipline? Can you see the setups? Can you not hesitate? Can you manage your risk? Can you not revenge trade? You know, there's a lot more that goes on, and you have to do that every single day. That you have to be at the best of your possible game every single day. When running a business, sometimes you don't have to be at the best of your day. Like if you're a dropshipper, for example, you got the system set up. Like you don't really have to do too much effort every day, and it's more slow paced. But in trading, like every single decision that you're gonna do is gonna make a difference towards your P&L at the end of the month. A lot of people are not going to tell you this. If you go on a lot of people's streams, they're just going to tell you, hey, get this funded program and you're going to be rich. But that's not the case. They're going to tell you, you're going to be able to do it. Don't worry. It's going to be great. It's not going to be great. You're going to go through the trials and tribulations. So already knowing that, you know what to expect. So that way you won't get discouraged when things get a little bit hard. People things get a little bit hard and then they kind of give up. Because they thought that they would not have any hardship. But one of the very early lessons I learned was, and I can never forget this even up to this day, was be cynical about the markets. Right? That was one of the first very lessons I ever learned. Be cynical about the markets. So right now, I think it's just setting up another move. We're gonna probably have like another move below support here. Or it's gonna attempt to break above resistance again to fill this next range. It's like 116 pips. Looks like this is oil. This is gold is setting up another distribution. right here just distributed about like 17 pips, and it's still going. It's still going. Nice little model there. I like this one because it got like a few rejection wicks to the top side like this. We got a nice little TFX entry confirmation. It's also got some clean range down towards here. You caught that sell on gold, swept the wick and out of full. Amazing. I want to ask if anybody caught it. Silver moves same as gold. You have to crawl through a broken glass and swim in salt water. It's just to get to BE. There's a saying this famous institutional trader used to say, it's like, you might just have a ghost of a chance. If you crawl through broken glass and swim through the salt water, you might just have a ghost of a chance to get to break-even trader. I think Ray Dalio said that, if I'm not mistaken. The real hustlers, ulcers. The real ulcers. Spartans. We got Sandila Chezi in the chat. I used to look forward to that guy, man. I tried getting on a phone call with him once. He was on Instagram and he was gonna be accepting like a few phone calls. Man, I remember that day I was going to work and I was so nervous, bro. I was so nervous that he would pick me because I didn't know what to ask him. I had all these thoughts going through my head. I was like, wait, what am I gonna ask this guy? This guy looking up to him a lot. He never picked me though. But I don't think I was ready for him to pick me anyway. I don't think that phone call would have resulted in anything. Because, you know, like everything happens in God's timing. Like my character was just not developed to even know the right questions to ask. I wear a Seiko. My first ever watch was a Seiko. Beautiful Japanese watch. I don't need some jerk on the street trying to snatch a Rolex. Seiko. Seiko is a pretty nice, like the mechanical ones are very well built. I think I got my drawer here. I'm gonna give this to my kid. This was the very first watch I got. I take really good care of it. It's actually still ticking amazingly, and it's a freaking mechanical watch. I don't know how it's still ticking, but the time is completely off. You see, like that's the back right over here. The mechanical, you kind of have to shake it, and then that's the front. It's got like this really nice blue face. Looks pretty clean. It's about, I think it's about 42 inch. Like I like smaller watches. I don't like the big ones. Yeah, this is my first ever watch, man. Love this watch. I like the color too. You can't get this. It's very hard to find this watch. After I bought it, I couldn't find it anywhere else. After that, I think it's very difficult to find this watch. Especially that blue face. You might find a similar one, but like in a different color to this. There's just something about mechanical watches and putting the time yourself and waking up in the morning and having to do this before bed that makes you feel more like you're wearing an actual thing. I think waterproof as well. Water resistant, not waterproof. Cool, because you can see the mechanical thing or jewel in there just moving like this. think someone who has a really awesome watch collection is who's that singer's name? Jason Mraz. John Mayer. No, John Mayer. Yeah, that's the name. John Mayer. John Mayer has a really nice watch collection. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like the jewel just ticks. Looks like this. Also on mine, it's kind of like a pink. And they just move like that.
Call it. It's cool to see people accept someone showing off their collection
Yeah.
as more than just showing off.
Showing wealth.
Yeah, showing wealth.
And a lot of these watches that we'll see today, you've had for a long time. I mean, even longer than Hodinkie's been around.
Yeah, longer than 10 years. And I think that's important to point out that the value or whatever people say are of some of these watches would make them prohibitive for me to own all these now.
And so we have a lot of Daytonas here.
Yes.
So the Daytona is a big part of what you do, what you love. Should we go through a few?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't we start with this guy here?
This is a 6265, so fairly later on into the lifespan of the Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there
So, you know, John Mayer is the greatest guitar player of our generation, right?
burning, passionate love for Arab branded dial
Indeed.
Rolex, especially Daytona, for one Patek 5004 reason. The same year,
Right, so it doesn't even say Submariner.
He has a cool one that he wears on stage that apparently glows or something like that.
application-wise, the GMT is so exciting. It's world ready. It's like, let's go.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
really is.
And I decided to have the back engraved with a Grateful Dead Steal Your Face Steely on the
Oh,
back.
that's sweet.
I've been in the band long enough now that I can kind of admit that it was always a little secret talisman on my wrist, a little good luck to myself.
Sure.
Like, at the aesthetic, you could imagine people see in person,
Those jewels look pretty cool. The color, the way the transition like that.
they all kind of give in and go, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. And when these first came out,
Man, I love mechanical watches. They just have so much character in them, you know?
we wanted. and it would
Especially
make
even when they
sense.
got like chips and hits. Like for me, I don't think it devalues the watch. It just gives it even more character.
That if you are a big enough enthusiast of Rolex, that you can understand the rarity of the piece and also the rarity of the thought behind creating the piece.
Absolutely.
You can then wear the watch as a collector more than someone who goes, I just believe I'm the guy who should be wearing an entire gradient circle of sapphires. Yeah. I think
Yeah, exactly. Man, you gotta appreciate the freaking art form.
5971.
People that just gonna
59
buy this Patek Philippe's and all these things just to flex on. This is just a flex on people.
And that sort of takes on it with these watches.
It's the same thing. You gotta take pride work in like everything that you do. You know, in your chart work and in literally everything. That's what we strive to do, and that's why we have. That's what happens when you take pride in your work. You get a very good product, right? You get a very good product, and unfortunately, those very good products, they're not for everybody. They're not for everybody because people are gonna shit on them. If a Rolex costed like $100 or like $50, people would shit on them. Anyway, Rolex would not be what Rolex is, even if it costed $5 to make a Rolex. You know. Even if like cost of $5 and you charge like $10,000, like that's just not the point, right? It's like taking pride in your chart work. Like Apple doesn't even cost that much. Like in a Chinese factory, getting a new latest Apple iPhone probably costs like a couple $100, but they're gonna sell it to you for $1,000 plus because it's just a brand image, right? But it's also because they take pride in their work, making sure simplicity comes out in a way that everybody wants. Take pride in your chart work, chat. Don't treat trading like it's a gamble. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with journey. Make sure you're executing on positions which make sense to you, and you see those positions in a way that is away from the result of winning and losing. I want a GMT Hulk. Daytona Panda and the black face with gold. Everything else. Oh, nice. Everything else is what I want. Panda, panda, panda. Whatever happened to that guy? He had like one song which blew up and then just completely disappeared. Damn, Daniel. Ed Sheeran got a collection too? Gingers have no souls. Remember that fat kid? And price just melting. I lost track of market here. Gingers have no souls. Then they made that South Park episode.
People would say that red-haired people don't have souls because we do. We do have souls, all right? And lately, I've been called a ginger, a fat ginger, by everybody at ski.
Ski.
Gingers have souls. I go to church. I'm a Christian. You don't know me. You're not God. It pisses me off.
Yeah, I love the way South Park just makes so much satire on things that happen in real life. This was a kid.
A fat ginger by everybody at school. And it really hurts my feelings. I act like it doesn't, but it does really bad.
Gingers have
Gingers
souls.
have souls. I go to church. I'm a Christian.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You're not God.
Man, this video has 48 million views. That was 16 years ago.
You're not God. You don't know who has a soul and who doesn't. All right? I'm a Christian. So if you think I don't have a soul, you tell me. Otherwise, fuck you.
Bro, Cooper Cab. Man, looks like he leaned into YouTube. He's still got a channel here. That's supposed 6 months ago. You wouldn't stop me. Oh, is he still going? 16 years now.
I've just come back to YouTube.
You wouldn't stop me.
Already I'm mad at you people. Already you can all go fuck yourselves.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
I have been back for less than a week, and y'all are...
He's still the same guy. This was posted 9 months ago and he's still raking in views. 35k views. Holy. I wonder if that was his first video. That was literally his first video. Gingers do have souls. 48 million. And he's still doing the same thing. Man, he had more videos than this that went viral. Let's show them. I would never do that. Man, the internet is weird. Internet is so weird. Just post a random video, goes viral, and just end up doing that for the rest of your life. Insane. Let's see this. Extremer because, oh, we can't see. Oh, you can't see it on Discord. Thank you, Architect. Appreciate it. Man's quick on the screenshot. Yeah, the thing is, I need to change the strap. I never got to that. See volume kicking in. Yeah, we gotta do some kind of a reanalysis now. But I love oil, man. I love the way oil has been progressing. I love the setups, how it's playing out. We see the ranges getting cleaned up right now. We got a bit of a shotgun play right there. So I'm gonna try and lean into this. At least as of now, when there's a lot more volume in the market, there's a nice little extended mag consolidation play on that too. The break of the lows. And yeah, so far it looks pretty decent. It's literally doing the same thing it does on gold, which is good to see an instrument do when you're picking an instrument. Ideally, the instrument should be following, like, obviously all markets going to move the same, up, sideways, bearish. But ideally, it should be following some kind of regulated behavior of what it is you like to see, whether it's like range fills or breakouts, to some higher degree than not. Because I'm sure you can get the same reactions on NQ, but I don't think like NQ has been playing out as clean as these other instruments. The only reason people trade NQ is because it's popular to trade, but you just have to look for yourself in terms of the instruments, if it's like a good fit. Alright, man, enjoy. See you later, John. I think I'm gonna head off to the gym now and then get on the charts later for a gaming session. And I can't promise that, but yeah, I think I'm gonna head out here. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you found some value here, and let's make some money. See you in the next one. Adios.
Pull up